Unlike Mariah and her mother, Libby Brown lived well, thanks to the estates of her 3 late husbands. Her large house was in the tonier black area of the city. The maid answered the door and eyed Mariah and her injured lip suspiciously. "May I help you?" "I'm Mariah Cooper, Mrs. Brown's niece. I wonder if I might speak with her?" The hard eyes didn't soften. "I'll see if she's receiving. Wait here, please." A few moments later, Libby appeared, and upon seeing Mariah's lip exclaimed, "Oh, my gracious, Mariah! What happened to you?" "Mother and I had an argument." Come in, come in." Taking her by the hand, she pulled her into the front parlor. "Sit right there. Willa, get her a cold rag." Mariah gingerly touched her swollen lip and shook her head in a mixture of anger and wonder that she and her mother had come to such a terrible state. Willa returned, and Mariah pressed the cold compress to the injury. It did much to soothe the fiery sting. Rising to her feet, Mariah walked over to the ornate framed mirror hanging on the wall and surveyed the damage. Her bottom lip was split and puffy. She dabbed at the dried blood gently in an effort to clean it up, and once again shook her head. Libby's dark face appeared in the glass behind hers, and Mariah saw the empathy her eyes held. "It's going to take that a few days to heal," Libby pointed out quietly. "But we'll keep it cold so the swelling doesn't increase. Would you like to tell me what happened?" They sat in the parlor, and Mariah related the story. When she finished, Libby's lip tightened with disapproval. "Bernice knows how close you and Kay are. It isn't right for her to deny you such a small thing, especially when you've offered to pay for everything." Mariah agreed. "She's the only friend I have." "May I ask you something?" "Of course." "Why does Mother hate me so? And please don't tell me it's my imagination, because I know it isn't." The expression on her aunt's face was unfathomable, and after a moment, Libby looked off into the distance at something only she could see. The prolonged silence made Mariah think she wouldn't reply, but eventually she did. "You have your father's eyes, Mariah. Every time Bernice looks into them, I'm sure she sees him and remembers her pain." "From the grief of his death?" "No," she countered quietly. "The pain of being abandoned and betrayed. Your father, Arna, didn't pass away, Mariah." Surprise filled her and her voice. "But I was always told—" I know, but that isn't the truth. Your mother received a letter from him right after your 3rd birthday, stating he'd be staying on in London with his true wife and children and wouldn't be returning to Philadelphia ever again. He wished you and her a good life and Godspeed. It was the last she ever heard from him, as far as I know." Mariah felt as if she'd been punched in the stomach. "He was married to someone else?" "Yes, both before and during the times he spent in Philadelphia with Bernice." Mariah truly thought she might be ill. "Your eyes are twins of his. Tiger eyes, he called them. Said he had an ancestor who'd walked as a human by day and a tiger by night as punishment for offending one of his gods." "Surely no one believes such blarney." "Your father was so beautiful. The women he met didn't care whether the tales were blarney or not, as long as he favored them with a glance, a smile, or whatever else he might send their way. When he settled his attention on your mother, she was ecstatic." Mariah found this not only hard to believe, but